DBS community, welcome back to another video going over the last deck that was shown off for set 23, which is going to be UI Goku or Omen Awakening, or however they're going to actually call it. I'm sure they're going to figure out some sort of name for it. But Super Saiyan Blue Son Goku, this is a Universe 7 deck that, man, it does a lot. I think, I don't know how. We haven't had an event yet with this deck, obviously. Like, the next event's literally going to be, I think it's EU Nationals. So I really don't know how this is how it's gonna play out. But on paper, this deck is incredibly powerful. So we're gonna go over the archetype, which this is actually a lot of me like reading these cards for the first time. And then we're gonna go over and try to build a deck, just sort of a baseline deck to see if you guys can come up with, find anything that would suit like a good template for you to go forward. And as always, if you like the content, please like and subscribe. With us having about 2 weeks, not 2 weeks, 2 months until Nationals, a lot of the content on the channel, now that we have everything out and we have the ban list, it's going to be sort of prepping myself, but also anyone who's going to Nats, going to be putting out some content to sort of assist with, maybe it's your first time going to a big event, maybe you just want an extra opinion, maybe you want someone to validate an opinion that you have, or vice versa, right? The opposite. So that's what I'm going to try to do, is put out some content, as well as myself and Kenny will be doing a podcast probably the week after Thanksgiving. And then from there, we're going to start doing some content on the podcast channel. So we're actually going to be making a Just Saying podcast YouTube only. It's going to be a separate YouTube from mine, just so we have our own separate audience kind of over there as well. And I just kind of felt like it was a good time to kind of start one over there, so it's just not on my channel. So that's other stuff for other days. Let's go over the leader, then let's go over the archetype. So permanent, when you place a U7 card from your combo area in the drop, place it in your Z energy instead. So this means that essentially the Bandai game mechanic of only charging 1 Z energy per turn is basically voided by this leader. You have the ability of just charging as many Z energy as you want. So if you combo 4 cards, you can put all of them in your Z energy. However, the reverse is you can't play Z battle cards, which I think is fine for what this deck actually does. Auto, when your yellow U7 card is used in a combo, you draw a card, and then awaken at 4 life or 2 or more energy, and you have 3 more Z energy. You draw 2 and strike life down to 6 instead, so you can awaken at 4, or if you have the 3 Z energy. Then on this side, we have the Autonomous Awakening. Cool looking art. I wish they started with this set with doing like alternate art leaders. I think that'd have been really cool for this one to have. But permanent, same thing for both permanents, and the actual auto is the same too. Is when you use a yellow U7 card in the combo, you draw. Activate main, place up to 1 of your Z energy in the drop. Switch up to 1, or switch up to, not switch up to, but switch 1 yellow Goku card to rest mode. Draw 1, and then choose one of your opponent's battle cards ignoring barrier and switch to the rest mode. So this is actually really powerful, because this kind of forces your opponent to deal with what this deck has to offer. And you playing small battle cards that have barrier really do nothing for this deck. But being able to just tap literally any card for free is it's a little ridiculous. Let's go into the archetype itself. So we have 2 assists from Goku 1-drops. We have a Piccolo and Gohan. Both are cantrips. 1 draws. 1 searches top 5 for a U7. It costs 4 or less. Both have the same effect. If it's this leader and you have a U7 card in your combo, when this card is added to a Z energy, you draw a card. So I think it's weird. It's like if you have this card and another card in the combo area, I think, or this card counts as a U7. I don't know how actually that works, because it should count itself as a U7, and then you just Z charge it and draw a card. So these cards are essentially drawing you 3 cards. You're 1 for the actual card itself, 1 for comboing it, and then 1 for putting it into the Z energy. Then we have the Android 18 and 17. A little bit more unique cards. These are more defensive. So 18, you can discard a card from your hand and remove this card from your Z energy. And then when your opponent attacks, you get the combo with 2 yellow U7 cards with 5k combo power from your drop, their skills negated. So you actually get to discard a card and combo 10k. So you basically pitch a card, and then you go to 10k. So you just get like an extra 5k bump, which is pretty cool. And also both of those cards will then go to your Z energy afterwards, which is probably the best part. Auto, if your leader is this leader, and you have, it's the same sort of effect as the other one, so to 17, where you have a U7 card in your combo area. When this card's put in the Z energy, you draw a card. And then 17 also is a counterplay for 7 or less. If you have 6 or more Z energy, it costs 1. So it allows you to counterplay 7 or less. So very similar to the hit from the U6 archetype. Very, very similar card. Just being able to just tap a 7 or less, which is kind of cool that they gave both archetypes like the exact same card. That's kind of interesting. Now we have the Gokus we have in this deck. So you have Reaching the Realm of the Gods. Permanent, if this card's in rest mode, your opponent's battle cards can't attack leaders, and this card is removed from the battle area, it's removed from the game instead. So the one problem with this card, and I guess this archetype, is a lot of these cards stop one of my favorite decks from functioning, which is Cumber. Because you can't bottom deck these permanent cards because they get removed from the game instead. So that's a really big hindrance on me wanting to play Cumber for Nats, because this particular card, which I think this deck is going to be very popular, these 1-drops, there's 3 of them actually, all of these 1-drops essentially stop my deck from being able to function. So it's really, really stupid. And you have to swing into them, you can't just remove them. So it's very odd that they gave them that permanent, but whatever. If your leader is a yellow, basically this leader, you have 3 more Z energy. Play this card from your Z energy, then choose one of your opponent's battle cards unison, switch to the rest mode, and it can't restand. Can't be switched to active mode until the end of your opponent's next turn, or your opponent's turn. Crazy effect for a 1-drop, right? Thankfully, like, it doesn't draw you a card, but the fact is you can play it for 1. And to my knowledge, like, you can play this card, and then yeah, it's like it's gonna stick on board. Thankfully, you can't like re-combo it off because it's gonna get removed from the battle area. But I mean, they're good cards. I mean, thankfully they don't have defense, but just that one particular type of permanent just kind of screws up, you know, one of my favorite decks. Whatever. I'm just venting a little bit. We have Super Saiyan Son Goku Survival Start. It's a 15k blocker, same permanent, and you play from your Z energy. It just got 15k blocker. So this one's probably the worst out of the 3. It's a weird thing, okay? It's like just probably the worst out of the 3, but it's a blocker, so I guess it's kind of cool. And we have the Legend Recreated, same permanents. When this card's played, you get to KO one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode. So pretty cool. You get to just pop something for 1 energy. And all of these playing from the Z energy, it's really cool, because you get the effect of comboing them from your hand or your drop, and then putting them in the Z energy, and then having the ability to play them from the Z energy. So, fascinating way of playing a deck. I just wish it wasn't yellow. Then we have the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta Godlike Power. This card's incredibly good. So it's a 20k dual attacker. You can combo it, or when it attacks, you switch one of your opponent's battle cards unison to rest mode. Limit once per turn. That's pretty cool. So you can just combo it for 5k, draw the card, and then tap something. If you have 3 more Z energy. And you can play it for 1 if you have 3 or more cards in your energy and your Z energy, which this deck you're going to do very quickly. So it's basically going to be your turn 3. You can play it. And it's a 20k dual attacker. Like, it's not unique or anything. So it's, thankfully the auto itself is limit 1, so it's not once per turn. So you can't just have multiple of these on board and then just tap stuff. But still, 20k dual attacker for 1 is really, really good. Then we have the first Goku, which is Divine Technique, 20k barrier, blocker. Play for 1 from your hand. If your leader is a yellow 7, if your leader is this leader and you have 3 more energy and 3 more Z energy, tap 1, draw a card, play it. When this card's played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier. Switch to rest mode. So same effect as your leader. Then when this card switches to rest mode by one of your leader skills, your opponent adds up to 1 card from their hand to their life, and then add up to 1 of your opponent's life to their Z energy. So essentially, this is a way of your opponent can essentially burn 1 of your life, but you have the ability of adding a card back to your life from your hand. So you kind of have the ability of just not taking a damage by doing that. So it's kind of up to you. I haven't actually had a chance to play test against this deck just yet for Nats. But I know this is going to be sort of annoying having to deal with. So you have to. I'm sure there's times where you don't want to take the damage, so you just put a card into your life, and then there's going to be times where you will, just so you can get the life. So it's definitely it's interesting. I don't know why this was printed. This and then the next card. I don't know why Bandai printed these cards like this. Sometimes you have like one deck every now and then. It seems like we've had it every time before Nats. That just seems a little ridiculous in what the card actually does, which is this next card, which is Multiple Awakenings. So this is the 30k deflect, cost 1. Activate main if your leader's yellow. Your opponent has 3 more energy and you have 4 more Z energy. Play this card from your hand. Choose it to one of your opponent's cards in rest mode, ignoring barrier, KO it. And during this turn, you can only play yellow U7 cards, and this card gains the following skill. Activate main, place 3 of your Z energy in the drop, so this card to active mode. So that's kind of cool. So you have the ability of just restanding this guy multiple times. Now, auto, if your leader is Son Goku Autonomous Awakening, when an opponent's battle card is KO'd by this card's attack, for every 5 cards in your Z energy, add one of your opponent's life to the owner's Z energy. This is crazy, right? You can you can burn. Generally, more likely you're probably going to burn like 2 later on in the game, but 2 having 10 Z energy and just being able to kill something and then you burn 2 life. I don't know why Bandai printed this card. It's a little ridiculous. And it's any card. Like, they just have to tap an energy to do it. It's insane. So, it's technically like a 2 energy play. And then you can just pop 3 Z energy and restand it. Now, that effect may or may not be good depending on how much Z energy you have. Because if you have like 7 Z energy and you swing in and you don't kill something, or it's like negated and you have to restand it, you're losing 3 Z energy, so you're going below 5, so it's actually not working. And I don't know actually how the auto works, if it will count the cards in your Z deck, in your Z energy, after the battle. I'm sure someone who is really good with rules and loves correcting people will probably put a notice down here if you guys know, because I'm very interested to know how that actually works. I don't know if it counts after the battle step. So, like, obviously it KOs, and then do you put the cards from your combo area in the Z energy, and then it triggers? That'd be interesting to know. Then we have the Z cards. So, we have Kamehameha, Omen of Victory. You remove this card from the game. When one of your opponent's life is added to its owner's hand, to the owner's Z energy by a skill, add one of your opponent's life to its owner's Z energy. So, it's crazy, man. So, you play this card, and if one of your opponent's life is added to the owner's energy by your skill, so by one of your Goku skills, you then deal a second damage by popping this card. Again, I don't know why this stuff was printed this way. It's pretty incredible how much burn damage this deck can do. Activate battle. If you have 6 or more Z energy, you remove this card from the game. Choose one of your yellow U7 Gokus, and it gets 10k for the battle. Then choose one of your opponent's battle cards, or Unison to negate its skill for the turn. So you have a basically like a final flash, and also for Unisons. It's pretty good, right? So yeah, I don't like this card. I'll be honest with you. I think the multiple burning, like, burn is a problem in this game anyways. Not like to a huge extent, but like on a high competitive level, like, burning is just a very, it's just a whole other thing you have to play around. And with how many skills are in this game, just the burning effect it just doesn't seem very good. But being able to just burn it again after you burn one and then not have to pay an energy for it, like obviously after it's on board, which you're going to get the energy and stuff for it. So yeah, it's a little strange, but it's a very powerful card. Definitely a very, very powerful card. The second one is Omen of a Comeback. If your leader is a yellow U7, when this card is placed in the battle area, your opponent gets 5k till the end of your opponent's next turn. And if your leader is Autonomous Awakening, you add 2 of your life to your Z energy. You remove this card from the game when your yellow U7 card with an end cost of 6 or more is played. It gets 10k for the turn. Then choose one of your opponent's battle cards, negated skills, and then add it to 2 of your cards. Add the top 2 cards of your deck to your life at the end of your turn. So you take 2 life, give your 6 drop, which is already at 30k for 1 energy. You give it 10k, so it's a 40k. And then at the end of the turn, you gain 2 life back. Yep, it's kind of odd. It's kind of odd. quite curious as to why this stuff was printed. But the effect itself is cool. I like the bean effect. I will say that. I think the bean effect's pretty good. And the bottom effect is like the fact that these are just one Z energy. I think they should have been a little bit more since you build so much Z energy. It just seems a little ridiculous to just have one energy. So this one I don't think is as good as the other one. Because that one just does automatic burn, but this one can help set up the burn, so it's pretty good. And then this deck actually did get a secret rare printed for the archetype, which is State of the Gods. This also did get the God rare. It's a 45k victory strike. Can't be affected by skills other than battle card skills. And when you activate a battle card skill, you can't unless you have to tap 2 of your cards anywhere. And you can only play this card if you have 10 or more cards in your Z energy. Now, I've been told, I've seen a lot of people not playing this card in their UI decks just because it's not a great effect. It's more likely never going to pop off. There's times where it will. Probably will be cute. I'm sure somebody will play it. But I don't think this is the correct secret rare for the deck. Paying 4 energy for this and then just it getting counterplayed or something means you have to go really, really late game. And there's only a few decks in the game that are going to go that late. And by then, you're probably already losing in value anyway. So, but it's a really cool card. But let's go over the deck list. Let's see if I actually can figure out how to build this deck. And then we'll be back and see what we came up with. All right, so took me a little bit. Did come up with something. I think it's now I would say I didn't come up with this build, or at least the concept of this build, but we built it and seen just kind of how it plays. Did a few untap games. It seems interesting, to say the least. Definitely some flaws with the deck that I'm gonna take to the group for testing for Nats. But I think the deck has a lot of upside, so it's definitely something you're gonna have to worry about. And with Golden Frieza now out of the meta, this is probably gonna be the most popular yellow deck. Also because it's UI Goku. So let's go over the list. So we have easy stuff here, just four of includes of both of the cantrips, just because they draw 3 cards essentially. We do not run. I don't run a full play set of the 18. It felt like I was running it as a 3 of, and then space wise, I'm like I don't really need 3. I think 2 is fine. So we just kept the 2 in there. We have 3 of the tapping Goku. And then we have 3 of this Goku, which is Super Saiyan 2 Son Goku. This is from the Majin Vegeta starter deck. So this card's actually crazy that it actually works with this deck. So if your leader is a Son Goku, both yellow, or Vegeta, you can play it in the activate battle step. So it's a 19k blocker. And if it's your turn and your leader ability switches this card to rest mode, you draw a card, and then it can't be killed by your skills. But the fact is, your leader can tap a Goku. So your leader taps a Goku and draws a card, and then taps something, and then you have the ability of tapping this to draw a card. So you can actually draw 2 cards off of this. And then if you have a Vegeta in your Z energy, you can restand it at the end of the turn, and it becomes a blocker. So this is really good. This is a lot of decent, I would say a lot of good value. You also can play it defensively, like in the battle step. So like you can play it defensively in the battle step, and then block an attack with it, because it's a 19k. Especially early on, unless you're playing against like Pan or something. And then it's the next turn you can just tap it down and draw a card. So like that's pretty good. So we included 3 of those instead of the blocker Goku. So it's essentially the same type of Goku, just this one draws this an extra card. And then we run 3 of the popping Goku. This Goku's cool. So like being able to basically like tap down like this Goku or this Goku with your leader effect to then tap a card and then play this from your Z energy and then KO that card as long as it doesn't have barrier. Pretty powerful. And then like having to remove this Goku and this Goku before your opponent's battle cards can attack your leader is actually kind of annoying if you don't have really good spot removal. We have 1 of the Ultimate Duo just because it is limited 1 now. Still a good card. I think you still probably need to run it just because it helps you out some particular cards that can't be removed from the game. So like Gogeta Secret Rare, but being able to just still play this, you can still tap it down with your leader effect, and then just kill it with this card. 3 of the Android 17 counterplays. I felt it was a little more value to have 3 of these and have 3 18s. 4 of the Godlike Power. I think this card's crazy good. charging it, obviously, so we can use it for our Goku here. And then also just being able to play this on turn 3 and then every turn afterwards for 1 energy just allows you to just reoccur value and just have dual attacker after dual attack. 3 of the new mod of Vegeta. It's a Vegeta, so it still has the weight there. 2 cost board wipe in rest mode, or just a 1-drop 30k body. It's still very powerful. This is actually going to be a very good card to be able to use, especially like if you want to swing with it. Just because like going through like explosive dance and stuff, you're gonna have to have like multiple copies of these cards in your Z energy so you can actually pop them, which is not going to be a big problem for this deck, I feel like. So red shouldn't be a big issue for this deck. We'll see. What else we got? We got four Krillin super combos. I felt like that was fine. You can also do like Backbone in Universe 7. So that's also fine. Backbone will technically draw you 2 cards. Actually, no, it doesn't. It's gotta be yellow U7, right? Yeah, it's gonna be yellow U7. So yeah, don't disregard that. So yeah, this is definitely just a better one to run. 1 Bergamo. So this is actually probably going to be an issue at Nats. So if people who don't know, is being able to tap a card off your leader effect and then just tapping 2 for Bergamo, and then using things like a Spirit Cannon, or what is it called, Final Cannon, the thing that has Bardock on it. You basically can just tap your opponent out and then just burn him to death. It's really fucking stupid. I'm not a fan of this effect. But Bergamo probably will make a comeback with this particular deck. So there's not many things you can do to stop Bergamo, unfortunately. It's a 20k, unless you're playing a deck that plays like Unexpected Turn. You're gonna have to just deal with getting Bergamoed. So just hold more energy up, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of strange that they allowed this to function this way. I don't know. 4 of each of the UI Gokus. I feel like it was probably just better to have 4. I think someone who probably plays this deck, they might cut down the Divine Technique down to 3. Maybe. It felt okay to play. I was playing it, and then I just kept getting fucking popped by cards that ignored barrier. But like putting this card down and then like putting the 6-drop down, like the 6-drop definitely felt better in a lot of cases. It just kind of depends on the matchup. So I think the 4-drop might go down to 3. If I were to play the deck, I'd probably play it to 3. 1 power of the Super Saiyan, just more Bergamo fuel, essentially. 2 Swift Retaliation Coolers, because of our win condition, kind of relies around us being able to get some damage through. 2 Reinforcements, 3 Nimbus, Bursting Rage, and 2 Time Magic. This is our extra card lineup here. Bursting Rage being our Secret Rare of choice because I feel like it's completely broken in this deck. I was actually going with, I think when I first looked at the deck, I was going with like Gohan Piccolo for a very similar reason why people were using Bursting Rage. But I think Bursting Rage actually is a little bit better in this deck. We're going to go into the Z deck to show you, because we have the ability of using this guy, the Majin Showdown. So it's we can actually go into this off of our leader. And it's a 20k body, but then if you have 7 cards in your combo area, your opponent, any cards they put in their combo area have their skills negated. And then if you have 7 or more cards in there, you can activate, and this card gains double strike. And then you remove it at the end of the game. I'm sorry, at the end of the battle, you remove it from the game. So you actually can swing like a huge number double strike, and then use the 6-drop and then burn your opponent from the last life. That's sort of, or the 4-drop. Basically burn them down, and then because you can go back into your leader effect, you play the 4-drop and you tap it, and then you burn your opponent for the life, and then before they can put the card back into their life, they lose. It's really stupid. I hope people don't do this, because I will flip the table on you. I'm not excited about this particular combination of stuff. It is very gimmicky, so there is that. I don't know how consistent it actually is. I've been trying to watch people play it on Untap, and I haven't really got any good games to watch. But this is a little scary. Definitely a little scary. It's gimmicky enough to be consistent, but it's really going to depend on what you're playing against, because there's going to be a lot of decks, a lot of different type of decks, and depending what you play with, you might not be able to get to the point where you can use this. So, and then since we can't run Z battle cards, we basically just run a bunch of fields or extra cards. So we run 2 of each of the new one of the Goku Kamehameha, because it does give our Goku cards 5k for the turn. And then also you can give one of your Goku Kais basically an extra 10k in crit. And then you have this guy, which is just good for defensive stuff, but also just to kind of fill the spot. This card could also be another copy of Omen of Victory or Omen of the Comeback. So it just kind of depends on which one you want to do. I just put them in there just so you guys can see them. Overall, this deck is incredibly good. You will want to have playtesting against this deck before you go to Nats, whatever region you are from. Make sure you know how your deck functions against this deck and how to kill it, whether it's you're trying to outvalue them and you have to play incredibly defensive, or you're going to kill them really quickly. It is a yellow deck with Nimbus, so like it's really hard to push through that at some point. So try it out. I would say if you have, we're going to try to look for some ways of, I guess, the best ways of beating this deck. We're going to go over some ideas of what we can actually do. I have some, but we'll see. I just hope I don't have to play against this deck all day, essentially. So, but that does it for me in the video here today, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you guys did, like and subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications, and let me know what you guys think of this deck. If you guys are going to be playing it at Nats, if you guys have a, if you guys feel pretty confident playing against this deck, let me know down below. I want to know what you guys have to say about this. So thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.